Okay, I'm back at the underground bunker, and I'm trading the demo account. I blew up the other demo account on a buying at the market strategy with an 8 pip take profit, and every time I pulled the trigger on that account, I think I was using about $400 margin. So that was an experiment that went bad there. Not really even got filled on any of the pending orders because I ran out of margin by the time we got near those orders. But in a classic form today, in the euro dollar, we had that stop hunt. So they took out all the retail guys that had their stops down there. But here's the British pound. So I'm just going to do quick and dirty analysis on the daily British pound against all the other currencies. So it's just kind of naked trading thing, and I'm trying to keep this one broker on the same format. This is running. I'm just going to run this in a line. This is just a 1 period moving average. I'm going to put this on top. This is the actual wicks. So I'm going to connect the wicks on here, and we're going to look for the pending order entries. And the spread's kind of brutal right now on this broker. I like 5 pips, right? That's kind of expensive, but you know, it's retail, right? So if you're looking to make 20 pips, who cares about 5, right? So this is all turned on to the bar mode, and then I'm going to zoom in, take this way up, and just look at the current price pulse. And there you go. These guys are in sync. These guys are in sync. And these guys are in sync. This is guys leading the... If you believe this is a head and shoulders here, right? So it shouldn't take more than 20 seconds to see. On the daily here, we can only see back so many days, so we don't really care about really where it's going in the end, because it's got to come back home. You know, it's like a wild animal. It's got to run back across the other curb before it feels safe enough to run back the other way. And if he gets to the 50, like the, you're driving down the road, here comes a squirrel, he gets to the 50, he gets to the double yellows, and then he comes back, right? Because he's trying to time it. He doesn't want to get hit. So if I was doing a pending order entry, I would put a buy limit and a sell limit, right? Stops, not too crazy about, because it's just low probability entries. So dollar against, this looks like the same setup we just got in the euro, where we came back and just chopped out all these guys that have their weekly stops in here. Also this pivot here, right, going back. So they just grabbed them, and this is why people can't make money trading. Typically, if they get a rhythm going, it's like if you were having sex with a woman and all of a sudden she changed the rhythm right in the middle. It's a problem, right? So you're like, what just happened? Like, I was just enjoying that. And so if you have the rhythm method, right, and here, all this choppiness, trend bots are just getting punished on that. But if you thread the needle on this thing and you come in on close, right, forget about the wicks, just run close, you'll see the head and shoulders, right? I saw a guy do a Elliott wave video, and he was totally lying. I just thought, what a liar. You're lying right in front of us. Like, he's queuing up. Like, if you're really going to stick to a rule system, you've got to do it. You can't, like, if you say this is the swing low because it turned, and you've got to find this node here, this is the first pullback, you've got to attach it there and just say, okay, well, that's my, that's it. You can't say, oh, well, today it's going to be like this. No, if the rules are the rules, right? If whatever system you're doing, right? Now, in the most clodhopper kind of caveman trading, you know, this is all you got. You just got that one pullback. That's your only reference, right? This is like the patient shows up with one leg. That's, you got to deal with it, right? So this is your 50% node here. And then he was making this guy actually went as far as to say that, okay, this is, we could probably say this is 1, 2, 3, but is that an A, B, C? So is that, here's the 1, 2, but see, you can't, in other words, this is going to be wave 4 is going to be very, wave 4 is supposed to be the wedge, right? Obviously, in Elliott wave. So, but where are you counting? You know, this is like a piece of music. You're going to jump in the jump rope. If you mess up the first entry into your jump rope, it's not, you have to back adjust that, right? So you have to make up a story. And we got the same pattern on the 1 hour earlier today. On the 5 minute earlier today was we had this top bottom here. So here's a classic entry for just tonight. You would just have a pending down there. If you have to fix the scale on here so you can manipulate this whole chart around. And try to come up with a low risk entry here. I don't think I put any pips on there. You just have to imagine in your mind what you can afford there, but you can't get over the fact that this is the bottom, right? There's no way to fixing that. Is a truth that happened, right? Just like this roll over here. Like, this is a truth that we just can't deny, that when we see double bottoms above this and we see this stop hunt, because it's they're chasing after this double top, right? They couldn't quite get it, but certainly the body of this 2-day, or this is like an 8-hour doji here, right? Or this is like a baby. This is, every dotted line is 1 week, right? There's plenty of time to make money, tons of money on this chart, and it's just simple as drawing a line, right? But you can't do it on the Wix, right? You have to do it right on that, and there you go, right? Find this peak, and give yourself 1 week for this market to get there. You can't put a time limit on these things, and if we get back to here, we're buying right there. There's a doji right here, right? So we want to buy here, buy then. That's a 4-hour dollar. We go to daily, it's going to be a lot less trading, right? A lot less work. So yeah, the daily, right? You just have an order here. It's like, oh yeah, whatever. This channel's in effect right now. The daily. So you're done, right? You're done with this chart. You put this order in here, right? Buy limit there. That's your preliminary orders right here. Where's the next buy? Right here. Okay, next chart, right? This, you can't, if you spend any more time, here's your buy, right? You're totally gonna miss the obvious, right? Here's the double top. There was the entry, blah blah blah. Whoever comes back there, I want to buy. But how are we gonna get back there? And am I gonna trade it all the way back to there? If that's the case, you gotta find something on the 30 minute, right? You have to go to 30 minutes, right? If you go any, you're just gonna overpay, right? Look at this beautiful double bottom here for just a few pips. And here you definitely know where they're going to come after. So anything from here down, you have to be a buyer, right? So there's a 1 hour, and here's going to be a big fat scalp down here. High probability. So yeah, this is where they would clean house into here, and then would come ripping back. And that's just how they do it, right? I mean, this come all the way back to the starting gate. Over and over, the same drama, right? Come back to the starting gate, and then how steep is your, what's your money velocity, how much money you want to make, and this is Sunday night or something here. So luckily this broker actually tracks Sunday night, so you get this extra little stamp, nice time stamp on this broker. So you can really see that, the weekly breadth, right? You can see the weekly on the 1 hour. You can see all these wonderful channels that once they give up, you know, it's over, right? So you're going, that's your buy speed, and this is be your sell speed. And then we just copy these out and just drag them around, looking for the next window. This is your buy window. This is your up breath, like that. So you try to build something for the market to walk into, and realizing that at least in this currency, this pound Australian, we want to buy into. We want to buy as it walks down into this line here. Give it. I don't know how many pips this is, but here, obviously, in the daily, we're going to buy whoever comes back here. But you could also sell it and ride it down into there. But, you know, I'm just saying, I would never trade the daily, right? But for you daily traders, look at the rollover. I mean, just look how easy that is to just see the rollover there, right? You don't have to fight it. I don't know why people want to fight this stuff. I guess people like a challenge. There's a nice trend line break. Triple, and then breaks out and finds support there just before leaving the station and doing a final smash and grab at the this big bottom here. Come right into that, and then just loaded like a spring. You know, look at that thing. So yeah, this ride's getting over, right? Let's face it. This pound New Zealand, wow, very toppy. It's going to roll over some point. I don't really trade this stuff, but you know, people want this. I guess people were watching that one video. Now here's the daily. Let's just go back to the boring daily chart. And so yeah, I mean, it should be pretty apparent, you know, and really, without spending too much time, I think it's how far you're zoomed out. Now this is like your framing of the market. Like when you frame it like this, you know, you can certainly see that this is a great entry, but you may not get there for, right? So I don't want to wait that long, but I guess on the daily, we got a top bottom here, right? So we're right in the midst of a top bottom here. I do think if you traded this thing on only pendings and just set up a domino system here, right? Yes, you have a buy limit down here, and you have a buy limit here at this last known, last month's pivot. Here you're going to be buying, of course, you know, same thing. You're going to want to buy down there for sure, right? So that's 100 pips. 100 pips a month if you squared it out like this. That's roughly about 100 pips a month. You got to fix the scale here. Stretch that out and get this squared out. Yeah, so New Zealand, what a wonderful spike climax that was. That could be it, actually, for that puppy. Could be all over. Go to the weekly. Yeah, they really stretched that puppy. Wow, they just actually hunted down this stop way up in here. Amazing. Look at that. Just so they grabbed that, and maybe they've got them, you know. So like they took Dow Jones, they finally took that thing to the mat. They had a tap out. And there's the monthly. Wow. Look at that thing. Jeez. Anyways, pretty crazy. Pretty wackadoodle. Yeah, this might be 1,000 pips in here. I think I set this actually. So I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, that's 1,000 pips. Sorry for that. Not 100 pips. Yeah, that's 1,000 pips a month, right? So if you wanted to do the math and see if you wanted to make 1,000 pips a month, were there any trades like that out there? So just watch this guy do a video. So depressing, right? More depressing than mine could ever be. He said, you know, you're gonna get through this video and you're gonna want to trade like me out. And then he took me through. He wouldn't even do a trade, right? Nobody will do a trade. Nobody would talk about where you place an order or nothing. Like how big I'm getting in, right? So you're just kind of watching in utter frustration. Here's the top bottom forming right now. So here's the only thing you can jump on. This looks like the only thing that's going to march north, but I think it's going to pull back some more, so I'd be scalping it. I just go to a smaller time frame. But here's your classic pattern, you know, over and over again. Same story, different day. Almost got a double bottom out of this. I guess if you come down to this little notch top here, and that's the key. These little baby ones are the keys. So anytime you get this right here, this confluence, where you ricochet off that, this becomes a real battleground. See how that becomes that double bottom over here. So you really got to slice it thin, and these markets are deep. That's 1,000 pips, right? And each one of these dotted. So this thing has moved 3,000 pips, right, in a month. So what happens if it pulls back about 1,000 pips? It can pull back 500 pips, right? So people that like to make a lot of pips, you know, this is their trade. I'd say you run a pretty wide stop down, maybe. Here's a 4-hour. So New Zealand to the pound looks like, you know, this is the big contention. They both pay really good interest rates, so there's really quite a competition there. So there's 1,000 pips. We're up like 2,150 or something. That's a lot of pips, right? Wow, it's just mind-blowing. Look at this top back here. Oof. Became that bottom. Yeah, that's brutal. But you know, I think it's over for this puppy. Man, talk about. Of course, you never can count these out. It's like that fighter that just keeps getting up off the mat. Definitely the buyers are going to come in at this double top. This will be the big test here. Can we... That triple top going to be the entry point right at the 1,000? And certainly the 1,000. Wow, look at this. Jeez, man. Look at this tag right into 1,000 for 800 pip bounce. Yeah, it's pretty staggering. I just can't get my brain around the spread. It's too much. 5 pips. Not a scalper's market, but this pound you could scalp. 2.5 pips. Anyways. All in all, it's the most boring way to make money in the world. Here's this amazing top, though. This big pivot, rejection, and finally ricochets off. And the whole time that's happening, you've got this just mind-blowing steep trend line. I remember trading live hogs, and it opened up like this, and I bought about here, and I kind of ran out of money by the time I got down here, but I thought, wow, what a buy, what a buy. Okay, so I'm back to this demo here, and that's my story, sticking to it.